Jake Evans stood on the battlefield, breathing heavily as sweat dripped down his forehead. Around him lay the wreckage of alien ships and broken weapons. Smoke drifted through the air, and the ground beneath his feet was scarred from the fierce battle that had just ended. Across from Jake stood Zarek, the powerful alien warlord who had threatened humanity for years. Zarek was tall, muscular, and had a presence that could make even the bravest soldier tremble. But today, Zarek's armor was battered, and his sword lay shattered at his feet. "You have defeated me," Zarek said, his deep voice filled with grudging. "Respect, I must surrender. But know this, human warrior, our traditions demand more than a simple surrender." Jake lowered his weapon slowly, keeping his eyes on Zarek. He had fought many battles, but never had he imagined standing victorious over such a formidable enemy. "What traditions?" he asked cautiously, wary of any trickery. Zarek stepped forward, unarmed and vulnerable, a gesture of true surrender. "To ensure lasting peace between our peoples, you must marry my 3 daughters. It is our custom. Refuse, and the war will begin again." Jake's heart skipped a beat. Marriage? He had joined the war to protect Earth, not to marry into an alien family. He hesitated, thinking quickly about what refusal might mean. The battles had already taken so many lives. Earth needed peace. "Let me meet them first," Jake finally replied, his voice firm. "If peace depends on this marriage, I will honor your customs. But I must know them." Zarek nodded solemnly, respecting Jake's request. He turned and signaled to his guards. Moments later, 3 alien women approached, each distinctly different, yet clearly sisters. The first was Eldra, her eyes fierce and proud, her posture straight and commanding. She looked Jake over carefully, clearly assessing him as a fellow warrior. Eldra's presence was strong, radiating confidence and authority. Next came Leora, quiet and gentle in demeanor. Her eyes were kind, filled with curiosity and intelligence. Unlike her elder sister, she did not challenge Jake, but instead offered him a respectful nod, showing her willingness to listen and understand. The youngest was Mara, lively and spirited, with eyes sparkling mischievously. She smiled widely at Jake, showing her playful and adventurous nature. Jake sensed that life with Mara would be anything but dull. "These are my daughters," Zarek announced proudly. "Eldra, Leora, and Mara. They will join you as your wives, binding our 2 worlds together forever." Jake looked at each of the women, noticing their distinct reactions. Eldra seemed skeptical, Leora hopeful, and Mara simply excited. His head spun with uncertainty. The future seemed complicated and overwhelming, yet a small part of him felt curious about what life might bring with these alien women. "Will you accept?" Zarek pressed again, his voice softer, almost pleading. "Think carefully, Jake Evans. Peace is fragile." Jake knew Zarek was right. If he refused, the consequences could be devastating. Yet, accepting meant stepping into an unknown future, filled with new responsibilities and challenges. He glanced around the battlefield once more, seeing the fallen soldiers, both human and alien, a painful reminder of what was at stake. Taking a deep breath, Jake faced Zarek firmly. "I will marry your daughters. I will do what is necessary to protect both our worlds from further war." Relief spread across Zarek's face, softening his fierce appearance. He extended a massive hand toward Jake. "Then let today mark the end of hostility and the beginning of unity." Jake reached out, shaking Zarek's hand, feeling the weight of their agreement settle on his shoulders. Peace had been won, but at a cost he hadn't anticipated. Turning toward Eldra, Leora, and Mara, he saw curiosity, respect, and excitement reflected back at him. "Come," Zarek said with a gesture toward a ship waiting nearby. "Your new home awaits, Jake Evans." Steeling himself, Jake stepped forward, knowing this decision would shape not only his life, but the fate of entire worlds. As he walked beside his new family, he silently vowed to find understanding, respect, and perhaps even love in the midst of their differences. Together, they boarded the ship, leaving behind the battlefield and moving forward into an uncertain yet hopeful future. Asterisk. Jake Evans sat quietly in the spacious chamber provided for him aboard Zarek's massive spaceship. The room was luxurious, decorated with vibrant colors and strange artifacts that spoke volumes about the culture of Zarek's people. Despite its comfort, Jake felt uneasy. Everything was unfamiliar, and he was about to meet his new alien brides again. This time under calmer circumstances. A soft chime echoed, and the door slid open silently. Eldra entered first, her movements graceful yet authoritative. Her sharp eyes locked onto Jake's immediately, clearly studying him. "We must speak plainly, human," she began, her tone firm but respectful. "I am a warrior, just like you. We can only build trust through strength and honesty." Jake nodded, understanding her straightforward approach. "Agreed, Eldra. I respect your warrior spirit. Perhaps we can learn much from each other." She seemed satisfied, relaxing slightly. "Then we shall train together. It is important we know each other's strength." Before Jake could respond further, Leora entered quietly. Her gentle manner immediately softened the room's atmosphere. "I hope I'm not interrupting," she said, her voice calm and soothing. "No, not at all," Jake assured her warmly. "We were just beginning our conversation. Please join us." Leora moved gracefully across the room, choosing a seat close to Jake. "My sisters and I are very different," she explained softly, her eyes warm and thoughtful. "While Eldra's strength lies in her skill in battle, my strength comes from understanding and knowledge. I hope we can share ideas and learn from each other's worlds." Jake felt comforted by Leora's openness. "I would like that very much. Your wisdom will be invaluable, especially in understanding your people's traditions." A playful laugh echoed from the hallway, signaling Mara's arrival. She bounded into the room with a cheerful energy that immediately lifted everyone's spirits. Mara's mischievous smile brightened as she saw Jake. "Are my sisters overwhelming you already?" she teased. "Not yet," Jake replied, smiling despite himself, "though I'm starting to see how unique each of you truly is." Mara dropped onto a seat opposite Jake, leaning forward eagerly. "Life with us will never be boring, Jake. I promise you that." Eldra cleared her throat, bringing their attention back to her. "While Mara enjoys jokes, our situation is serious. We must ensure our marriage binds our people strongly, or we risk conflict again." "I understand," Jake agreed firmly. "My first goal is peace. But peace will be easier if we can all truly understand and appreciate each other." "Then we start immediately," Eldra declared decisively. "Tomorrow morning we train." Leora nodded gently. "Afterward, perhaps we could discuss the history and literature of our peoples. It will help us understand each other's values and beliefs." "And tonight," Mara interrupted with sparkling eyes, "we celebrate. A small feast is being prepared. A chance for us to relax and enjoy ourselves." Jake found himself surprisingly excited by the prospect. "All right, that sounds perfect. A bit of training, learning, and celebration." The sisters exchanged glances, each seeming pleased in their own way. Eldra stood, offering Jake a respectful nod. "Then we have our plan. I will leave you to rest now. Tomorrow we test each other's limits." Leora smiled softly at Jake, rising to follow Eldra. "I look forward to sharing our stories. Rest well." "Jake," Mara lingered behind, her mischievous grin returning. "Don't worry about Eldra," she whispered conspiratorially. "She's tough but fair, and Leora will never run out of things to teach you. As for me, you'll just have to wait and see." Jake chuckled lightly, feeling genuinely intrigued. "You make it sound like an adventure." "Oh, it will be," Mara promised with a wink. "Good night, Jake." Alone again, Jake leaned back, absorbing everything. Despite his initial doubts, he felt cautiously hopeful. Each of Zarek's daughters was fascinating in her own way. Eldra's strength would challenge him, Leora's wisdom would guide him, and Mara's spirit would keep life interesting. As he lay down to rest, Jake realized that this strange new chapter in his life held promise beyond anything he could have imagined. Though uncertain and challenging, the journey ahead now felt exciting rather than daunting. With these thoughts accompanying him, Jake drifted into a peaceful sleep, ready to face whatever the future would bring. Jake awoke early, feeling rested and ready to face whatever awaited him. True to Eldra's promise, the first task of the day was combat training. Jake quickly dressed in simple clothing suitable for movement and went to the training area aboard Zarok's ship. Eldra stood waiting, her posture straight, arms crossed, a slight smirk on her lips. "You arrived early. Good. That shows discipline," she observed, approvingly. "I believe in punctuality," Jake replied, stretching to prepare himself. Eldra watched, assessing him carefully. Soon, they began their training. Eldra was fast, skilled, and powerful, pushing Jake to his limits. At first, he struggled to keep pace, but his determination kept him going. "You fight well," Eldra eventually admitted, nodding in respect. "But your moves are predictable. We will improve that." Jake smiled, despite feeling exhausted. "I'm glad to have your help." As they trained, Leora entered the area quietly, holding a small tablet. She sat down gracefully, observing their training silently. When Jake and Eldra paused, she approached. Calmly, "Your styles differ greatly, yet both are effective," she said softly, her eyes thoughtful. "We will both learn much from this," Eldra agreed, wiping sweat from her forehead. "Are you ready for our time together, Jake?" Leora asked warmly. Jake nodded, curious about what she had planned. They moved to a quiet room filled with comfortable seating and shelves packed with strange books and devices. Leora selected a book and handed it to Jake. "This is one of our people's oldest texts," she explained, her voice gentle and patient. "It explains our customs and beliefs." Jake flipped through the pages, fascinated. "Can you read this to me?" he asked, intrigued but unsure of the symbols. Leora smiled kindly and began reading softly, explaining each passage. Jake listened carefully, learning about honor, family ties, and the importance of peace to her people. He felt more connected to Leora with each story she shared. Mara suddenly appeared at the doorway, peeking inside playfully. "Are you boring Jake already?" she teased Leora. "Not at all," Jake said warmly, setting down the book. "But perhaps we should take a break?" "Perfect," Mara exclaimed cheerfully. "Come with me." Jake followed Mara into the ship's large central area, bustling with activity. Mara led him to a table covered in colorful, strange foods. "You must try these," she urged, her eyes sparkling. Jake cautiously tasted the dishes Mara recommended. Some were delicious, others strange to his palate, causing him to make faces that made Mara burst into laughter. Despite the odd taste, he enjoyed the moment. "You planned this, didn't you?" Jake asked, amused by her playful nature. "Maybe a little," Mara admitted, grinning mischievously. "But it helps you understand us better, right?" "Definitely," Jake agreed, laughing. "Though next time, warn me about the spicy ones." As they laughed together, Eldra joined them, her expression serious, but her eyes softer than before. "It is good you are getting along," she stated. "But remember, our union has great purpose." Leora appeared beside Eldra, her gentle presence balancing Eldra's intensity. "Yes, but genuine connections between us will strengthen our bond," she added softly. Eldra seemed thoughtful. "I suppose you're right. Balance is important," Jake nodded earnestly. "I agree. The better we know and trust each other, the stronger our alliance will be." The sisters exchanged pleased glances. "Then we will continue this balance," Eldra finally agreed. "Training, knowledge, and even Mara's pranks each play a role." Mara giggled softly. "I promise to keep things interesting," she assured them brightly. Jake felt relief wash over him. Despite their differences, he realized they shared the same goal: to build a strong, peaceful bond between their worlds. Each sister brought something important: Eldra's strength and honor, Leora's wisdom and kindness, and Mara's playful spirit and joy. As the day ended, Jake reflected on everything he had learned. Each interaction helped him understand the sisters better, despite some amusing misunderstandings along the way. He was beginning to appreciate their differences rather than be puzzled by them. That night, alone in his room, Jake felt hopeful and content. Although cultural differences still posed challenges, he believed strongly in their growing bonds. With patience, openness, and understanding, Jake knew they could build a powerful, lasting alliance. And so he drifted to sleep, feeling truly optimistic about the future. The following days aboard Zarek's ship quickly settled into a comfortable routine. Jake and Eldra trained every morning, exchanging techniques and pushing each other's limits. Each day Jake grew stronger, and Eldra began to appreciate his determination and patience. One morning, after a particularly intense training session, Eldra looked at Jake thoughtfully. "You fight differently than my people," she noted. "Your style is cautious yet effective." Jake nodded, breathing heavily, but smiling. "Humans prefer to assess carefully and then act decisively. It helps us stay alive longer." Eldra smiled slightly, her usually stern expression softening. "I see the wisdom in it now. Perhaps caution is strength after all." In the afternoons, Jake spent his time with Leora. She eagerly shared knowledge from her people's culture, reading books aloud and explaining their meaning. Jake loved listening to her calm voice, finding peace in her thoughtful explanations. One day, Leora paused her, reading, her gentle eyes fixed warmly on Jake. "You truly seem interested," she said softly. "Many of our people find history dull." Jake shook his head firmly. "Understanding history helps us avoid past mistakes." "You make it interesting, Leora." She blushed lightly, clearly pleased. "Your openness is refreshing," she admitted quietly. "I feel I learn as much from you as you do from me." Mara filled Jake's evenings with laughter and excitement. Her endless energy and playful spirit provided a much-needed balance. Often, she involved Jake in her playful schemes, tricking Eldra into smiling or Leora into joining their games. One evening, Mara showed Jake how to play an alien game involving small glowing orbs. Jake quickly learned the rules, but found Mara surprisingly clever and hard to beat. After losing several rounds, Jake laughed heartily, admitting defeat. "You're good at this." Jake praised her genuinely, his eyes shining with joy. Mara beamed. Proudly, "Play is important," she explained seriously, though her eyes sparkled with humor. "Without fun, life is dull and unhappy." Slowly, a genuine bond formed between Jake and each of Zarek's daughters. He began to understand their individual strengths and personalities better each day, appreciating what made each unique. Eldra's fierce bravery inspired him, Leora's intellect and kindness comforted him, and Mara's playful nature reminded him of joy's importance. To deepen their bonds further, Jake decided to plan an event that combined all their strengths and traditions. With Leora's help, he organized a gathering that featured human and alien activities, food, and entertainment. The preparations were exciting. Eldra trained some of Zarek's warriors and human soldiers together, demonstrating combined techniques. Leora prepared speeches and stories that highlighted the history and shared values of their two cultures. Mara joyfully set up games and activities, promising fun for everyone. The day of the event finally arrived. Jake stood nervously, hopeful that it would bring their communities closer. Eldra approached him confidently, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You've planned well," she stated approvingly. "Our peoples will see the value of unity." Leora joined them, smiling warmly. "The history we share today will inspire future generations." Mara rushed up, laughing excitedly. "Enough seriousness. Come and enjoy." The event was a great success. Warriors from both sides found common ground in training sessions. Humans and aliens alike listened attentively to Leora's stories, understanding the lessons of peace and respect. Mara's games created laughter and friendships, breaking down remaining barriers of mistrust. Jake watched proudly as Eldra demonstrated human and alien tactics side by side. He saw admiration and respect in the faces of everyone watching. He listened with pride as Leora captivated the audience with stories that bridged their histories. And he laughed alongside Mara, her gains reminding everyone of the joy and unity. As the day ended, Jake felt truly accomplished. The event had not just entertained it, had built genuine connections. Eldra approached Jake, visibly satisfied. "You have done something remarkable today," she acknowledged sincerely. Leora nodded softly, her eyes filled with gratitude. "You have helped us see our common dreams." Mara linked her arm with Jake's, grinning happily. "And you made it all fun." That night, Jake sat quietly, reflecting. Each of Xeroc's daughters brought something special into his life, challenging and enriching him in ways he never expected. His initial worries about their differences had faded away, replaced by deep appreciation and warmth. Jake knew their journey was far from over, but for the first time, he felt confident in the path ahead. Together, they had shown their peoples that unity and cooperation were not only possible but beneficial. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Jake knew they would face them together, stronger than ever. In the weeks following the successful gathering, Jake noticed significant changes aboard Zarek's ship. The initial tension and uncertainty among the alien and human crews gradually gave way to mutual respect and understanding. Jake felt pride in what they had accomplished together. Each morning, he continued training with Eldra, their sessions becoming less competitive and more cooperative. They shared techniques openly, enhancing their strengths. One day, after a challenging workout, Eldra sat beside Jake, her breathing steady as she observed him closely. "You have grown strong," she remarked approvingly. "Not just physically, but also in your understanding of our ways." Jake smiled gratefully, feeling deeply respected by Eldra. "It is because you have been patient and taught me well," he said earnestly. "I've learned to value your bravery and loyalty." Eldra nodded thoughtfully, her eyes revealing a rare gentleness. "And I have learned caution and patience from you. I did not expect such valuable lessons." In the afternoons, Jake continued exploring cultural traditions and history with Leora. Their discussions often went deep into philosophy and values, making Jake appreciate her thoughtful insights even more. One afternoon, as they sat quietly in the ship's library, Leora looked at Jake, her eyes warm with affection. "Do you think our peoples can truly understand one another deeply?" she asked softly. Jake met her gaze steadily, sincere and hopeful. "Yes, I truly do. Every day I spend with you convinces me more." Leora's gentle smile widened, touched by his confidence. "You give me hope, Jake. Your belief in unity and peace is inspiring." Their thoughtful moment was playfully interrupted by Mara, who bounded into the library, grinning mischievously. "Are you two always so serious?" she teased lightly. "Come, it's time for fun." Laughing, Jake and Leora followed Mara, knowing it was pointless to resist her enthusiasm. Mara led them to an observation deck, revealing a spectacular view of stars and distant planets. A simple game awaited them, one Mara had designed combining human and alien traditions. They played and laughed, creating joyful memories. Jake admired Mara's creative spirit and the ease with which she brought happiness into any situation. "You have a true gift," Jake praised her warmly, genuinely appreciating her carefree nature. Mara's eyes sparkled brightly. "You've taught me, Jake. Fun shared with others is much better." Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Jake and his sisters continued to strengthen. Eldra now openly respected Jake's decisions, consulting him on matters of leadership and strategy. Leora trusted Jake completely, sharing her most profound thoughts and feelings without hesitation. Mara openly expressed her joy and affection, her playful antics now a comforting part of Jake's daily life. Despite their differences, each sister brought something unique and valuable to their shared relationship. Jake realized how deeply he cared for them, not just as allies or wives, but as true companions and friends. One evening, Zarek summoned Jake for a private conversation. Jake approached cautiously, unsure what to expect from the powerful alien leader. Zarek looked surprisingly calm, even peaceful, as he greeted Jake. "You have done well, Jake Evans," Zarek began solemnly. "Your presence has changed my daughters and our people for the better." Jake felt a surge of pride and humility. "It has been my honor to learn from them," he replied sincerely. "They have each taught me invaluable lessons." Zarek nodded approvingly. "The alliance we have built together is stronger than I imagined possible. I trust you fully." Jake thanked Zarek, deeply moved by the alien warlord's words. Returning to his quarters, Jake found Eldra, Leora, and Mara waiting for him, each with a different yet equally welcoming expression. Eldra spoke first, her voice firm and confident. "We have grown stronger together. I am proud to stand by your side." Leora's gentle voice followed softly. "Your kindness and patience have given us all hope. Thank you, Jake." Mara stepped forward with a cheerful smile. "And you reminded us all how important laughter and joy truly are. We're lucky to have you." Jake felt warmth fill his heart, deeply touched by their words. Looking at each of them, he realized just how much their bonds had grown. Their unity was genuine, built on mutual respect, trust, and sincere affection. That night, as Jake lay in his bed, he felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. What began as an uncertain arrangement to ensure peace had transformed into something meaningful and beautiful. Jake now saw Eldra, Leora, and Mara not merely as his brides, but as essential parts of his life, partners in a shared journey filled with strength, wisdom, and joy. With contentment in his heart, Jake drifted into a peaceful sleep, knowing the future held endless possibilities for their combined worlds. Life aboard Zarek's ship continued peacefully, but soon an unexpected crisis threatened their newly formed unity. Jake awoke early one morning to the urgent sounds of alarms blaring throughout the vessel. Quickly dressing, he rushed to the command room, where Zarek and Eldra were already discussing the situation. "What's happening?" Jake asked, his voice calm but concerned. "An attack," Eldra replied swiftly. Her face was stern, focused on the data screens. "A group of rebels unhappy with our alliance is approaching rapidly." Jake's heart sank. The peace they worked so hard to achieve was now at risk. He turned to Zarek, who looked troubled but determined. "How can we respond effectively?" Jake asked. Zarok sighed deeply. "These rebels do not understand the importance of our alliance. We must protect both our peoples without escalating the conflict. Then we defend, but carefully," Jake suggested firmly. "We must show strength without losing the chance for future peace." Eldra nodded in agreement, already formulating the strategy. "Our combined training sessions have made us strong. Human and alien warriors fighting together will send a powerful message." Jake agreed wholeheartedly. Moments later, Leora and Mara joined them, visibly worried. Leora's gentle voice broke the tension. "We must remind everyone why peace is valuable. Perhaps diplomacy can still win." Mara's eyes flashed with determination. "And if not, we are ready to protect each other, together." Quickly, preparations began. Eldra organized the defenses, deploying joint teams of alien and human warriors strategically around the ship. Leora set up communication lines to negotiate, with the rebels determined to reach a peaceful resolution. Mara worked swiftly to maintain morale, comforting crew members and ensuring readiness without panic. Jake moved between tasks, helping where needed, reassured by the confidence and dedication of Eldra, Leora, and Mara. Despite the threat, he felt hopeful because of their combined strength. The rebels approached swiftly, their ships clearly visible on monitors. Tension filled the ship as everyone waited to see their first move. Eldra stood ready, confident in their defenses. Leora calmly prepared a broadcast, reaching out to the rebel leaders, her voice steady yet soothing. "Please listen," Leora pleaded gently but firmly. "Our unity is not weakness, but true strength. Together, we can achieve more than apart. Please reconsider your actions." Initially, there was silence, then a harsh response crackled through the communication system. Your alliance betrays our traditions? We cannot allow it. Jake stepped forward decisively, adding his voice to Leora's. This alliance was made to end suffering, not create more. Our cooperation protects both human and alien lives. Think carefully about the future you wish to create. The rebels hesitated, their ship slowing slightly. Jake felt a flicker of hope, but the hesitation was brief. Soon, enemy fire streaked across the darkness toward Zarek's ship, shaking it violently. Defend the ship. Eldra commanded, immediately organizing their response. The battle was fierce but brief. Eldra's careful planning allowed their forces to respond swiftly and efficiently, minimizing damage. Jake watched with pride as human and alien warriors fought seamlessly together, clearly demonstrating the strength of unity. Throughout the skirmish, Mara remained upbeat, reassuring everyone around her, ensuring spirits remained high despite danger. Leora continued sending calm and reasoned appeals, her voice unwavering. Slowly, the rebels realized their disadvantage, forced to retreat as their ship sustained heavy damage. Jake breathed deeply, relief washing over him. Eldra turned to him, her eyes shining with respect. We did it, together. Jake nodded gratefully, turning toward Leora and Mara, whose expressions reflected deep relief and pride. Zarek approached, visibly moved. You have all proven your strength and wisdom, Zarek praised sincerely. This challenge has shown clearly why our alliance is essential. Jake glanced around, feeling deeply connected to each person around him. Eldra's courage had defended them bravely. Leora's wisdom had fought to maintain peace. Mara's joy had kept them united. Together, they had successfully faced and overcome the greatest threat yet. As the crew began repairs, Jake met with Eldra, Leora, and Mara privately. Eldra spoke first, firm and confident. Today proved we are strongest when united. I am proud to stand beside you. Leora's gentle voice followed softly. Our unity saved lives today. Together, we showed the power of peace. Mara smiled brightly, her eyes sparkling. And our happiness remains intact. Nothing can break us now. Jake felt immense pride, knowing that their bond had been truly tested and proven unbreakable. Looking at each of them, he realized how deeply he trusted and valued their alliance. That night, exhausted yet fulfilled, Jake slept peacefully, secure, in the knowledge that their unity was stronger than ever, ready to face any challenge that lay ahead. Days after the battle, the mood aboard Zarek's ship was positive and hopeful. The recent crisis had shown everyone the true power and importance of unity. Jake, Eldra, Leora, and Mara felt closer than ever, knowing their bond was strong enough to overcome any challenge. Zarek called Jake and his daughters to a private meeting. They gathered in a quiet chamber, decorated warmly to symbolize peace and friendship. Zarek's voice was calm and filled with pride as he addressed them. The time has come for the formal marriage ceremony, Zarek announced, his eyes reflecting warmth and approval. Your unity has already proven stronger than I ever hoped. Now, let us make this alliance official and permanent. Jake nodded solemnly, feeling both excited and deeply honored. Eldra stepped forward confidently, her voice clear. We will uphold this unity proudly, Father. Our bond is our strength. Leora smiled softly, her expression serene and content. Yes, our hearts and minds are now truly connected. Together, we can ensure lasting peace. Mara, lively as always, grinned widely, and we'll have plenty of fun along the way. Their joyful laughter filled the chamber, easing any remaining tension. Zarek smiled genuinely, his powerful presence softened by genuine happiness. Then let us celebrate this union with honor and joy. Preparations began swiftly. Eldra carefully supervised the security and arrangements, ensuring everything was perfect and orderly. Leora oversaw the traditional elements, carefully choosing rituals and stories meaningful to both cultures. Mara eagerly took charge of entertainment and festivities, Promising that everyone would have a wonderful and memorable time, Jake helped wherever he was needed, marveling at how seamlessly everyone worked together. Human and alien crew members united once again, excited to witness this historic moment. Finally, the day of the ceremony arrived. The Great Hall was beautifully decorated with symbols of unity and peace. Jake stood at the front, feeling both nervous and proud as Eldra, Leora, and Mara entered, each wearing elegant ceremonial clothing that represented their unique personalities and strengths. Eldra wore armor decorated with peaceful symbols, showing her warrior spirit tempered by wisdom. Leora wore a simple yet graceful gown, symbolizing her thoughtful and gentle nature. Mara chose vibrant, joyful colors, reflecting her playful and energetic spirit. Zarok officiated the ceremony, speaking clearly and powerfully. Today we join our peoples through marriage, creating an unbreakable bond. May this union inspire future generations to choose peace and unity above all else. Jake faced Eldra first, speaking sincerely. Eldra, your bravery and strength inspire me daily. I promise to always stand beside you, sharing both victory and struggle. Eldra met his eyes firmly, her voice strong. Jake, your courage and wisdom have earned my deepest respect. Together, we will face the future fearlessly. Jake turned to Leora next, his voice gentle and heartfelt. Leora, your wisdom and kindness have opened my heart. I promise to always seek understanding and harmony with you. Leora's eyes shone warmly. Jake, your compassion and openness have given me great hope. Together, we will guide our peoples to lasting peace. Finally, Jake faced Mara, smiling warmly. Mara, your joy and laughter brighten every moment. I promise to always cherish your spirit and happiness. Mara's bright smile widened even more. Jake, your genuine warmth and patience mean everything to me. Together, we'll always find reasons to smile. The ceremony concluded with loud cheers and applause from everyone present. The ship's crew celebrated joyfully, enjoying food, music, and festivities carefully planned by Mara. Jake felt deeply content, surrounded by warmth, love, and true unity. Later, as the celebrations quieted down, Jake stood quietly with Eldra, Leora, and Mara, looking out at the stars through the observation window. Eldra broke the comfortable silence first, her voice filled with gratitude. I never imagined such strength could come from unity. Leora nodded gently, smiling softly. Our differences have become our greatest strengths. Mara leaned playfully against Jake, her voice cheerful. And our lives will always be full of surprises. Jake smiled warmly, wrapping his arms gently around them. Together, we have proven that love, respect, and understanding are stronger than fear or misunderstanding. They stood quietly, watching the stars together, each silently thankful for the unexpected path their lives had taken. Their journey had begun with uncertainty and obligation, but it had blossomed into something genuine and powerful. Jake knew they would face any future challenge united, supported by their unbreakable bond in the vastness of space. Aboard Zarok's ship, Jake, Eldra, Leora, and Mara found true happiness. They had built more than peace. They had created a lasting legacy of unity and love, a legacy that would guide their peoples to a brighter, stronger future.